She told me she was spending the weekend at a yoga retreat. I went too. Checked into a room down the hall. Watched her enter a suite with someone else. I left a gift outside their door, 2 yoga mats. One cut in half. I'm not a jealous guy. I want to start with that. I've always given people their space, always respected boundaries, always believed that if you treat someone well, they'll do the same in return. My mom used to say, trust is like a mirror. Once it's cracked, it reflects everything wrong. Well, this is about the day the mirror broke for good. My name's Wade. I'm 38. I work in commercial plumbing 12 years now. I'm the guy that inspects boiler rooms and rewires hot water systems in big apartment buildings. I come home sore most nights. I've got a callus on every finger and a scar on my right forearm from a pressurized valve mishap 2 winters ago. What I'm saying is, I'm a regular guy. Blue collar. Not flashy. But I've always been loyal. Honest. And I thought Marcy was too. We met in 2018 at a bar in Loveland, Colorado. She was bartending. Her hair was up in one of those messy knots, and she had this easy laugh that made everyone around her lean in. We clicked fast. She moved in 6 months later. It wasn't perfect. No relationship is, but I felt like we understood each other. She always talked about wanting more peace in her life. A break from the noise. She said yoga helped her with that. I supported it. I even bought her classes for her birthday one year. She got deep into it. Started doing yoga every other day, changed her diet, cut out red meat, started journaling. That's when I noticed the shift. First, it was the phone habits. Then the trips. These retreats. At first, they were every few months. Then every few weeks. She'd say, it's just me and the girls. Silent retreats. You wouldn't like it. Babe, it's not your thing. She was right. It wasn't my thing. But I wanted her to have her thing. Until I couldn't shake the gut feeling. You know the one. That low buzz in your stomach that tells you something's not right, even if you don't have the facts yet. I started paying attention. One night, she was texting late. Said it was her friend Tasha. I saw the reflection of the screen in the kitchen window. There was no contact name at the top. Just a number. Still, I didn't say anything. Then came that weekend. She told me on a Tuesday. I'm doing another retreat this weekend. Friday to Sunday. Silent yoga. No phones. No internet. Just detoxing my energy. I asked where. She said Whispering Cedar Retreat. That place up near Estes Park. I nodded. Sounds peaceful. She kissed my cheek and thanked me for always being so understanding. She left Friday morning. I waited till noon. Then I packed a bag and drove up myself. I didn't want to catch her. I wanted to prove myself wrong. I wanted to walk in there, find her surrounded by women in stretchy pants doing sun salutations and breathing exercises, and feel like an idiot for doubting her. But I wasn't wrong. The place was beautiful. Looked like a damn postcard. Trees lining the gravel drive. A main lodge with big windows and cedar paneling. Fireplaces in the rooms. It wasn't cheap. I had to use a fake name and a credit card I hadn't touched in months just to make the reservation. I checked in around 6 p.m. They gave me room 204. I told them I was there for a solo healing journey. The front desk woman gave me herbal tea and said dinner was buffet style in the communal hall. I didn't go. I sat in a corner of the lounge with a book I didn't read, waiting, watching. At 7:13 p.m., I saw her. Marcy. She walked in wearing her favorite gray hoodie, her braids swinging behind her. She was holding hands with a man, not just walking near him, holding hands. He was tall, broad shoulders. Looked like he played golf on Wednesdays and cheated on his taxes. He had that polished look, tan, clean-shaven, Patagonia vest over a Henley shirt. Like he belonged in a goddamn catalog. They didn't notice me. Why would they? They walked up to the counter, spoke to the same woman who checked me in, laughed together, and got their key. I followed, staying just far enough behind to not look suspicious. Suite 210. They went in together. The door shut. Locked. I stood in the hallway for a long time, staring, listening, not moving. I didn't cry. I didn't punch the wall. I didn't scream. I turned and walked back to my room. Room 204. I sat on the bed, pulled out my bag. Inside was the yoga mat I bought her a few weeks back, bright green, still in the plastic wrap. She needed a new one. Said her purple mat was wearing down. That old purple mat? I brought it too, just in case. I took it out, unrolled it on the carpet. I stared at it for a long time. All the places her hands and feet had pressed into the foam. The faded parts. The little tears. I picked up the knife from the kitchenette, laid the mat flat, and sliced it. Straight down the middle. It didn't cut clean. Foam never does. It split jagged, like a crack through ice. I rolled up both mats, wrapped them in one of the lodge's white towels, tied the bundle with my spare phone charger cord. I waited until midnight, walked back to Suite 210, laid the bundle neatly outside their door. Didn't knock, didn't say a word. Then I turned and walked away. I didn't sleep that night. I laid on top of the covers, shoes still on, staring at the ceiling. My mind was buzzing with images of them in that suite. Laughing, touching. Maybe she was lying in his arms, telling him she was finally happy. Maybe she said I was just a roommate. A phase. Someone she felt grateful for, but had outgrown. I was still there at 4 a.m., eyes wide open, when I heard movement in the hallway. Soft voices. A shuffle. Then a pause. I cracked the door just an inch and peered out. Suite 210's door was open. Marcy stood there, holding the yoga mats. Her face pale, her mouth tight. She looked both ways down the hall, like she was scanning for someone. She didn't see me. She turned to the guy. He was shirtless, standing in the doorway behind her, and said, "I think he's here." He looked confused. "Who?" "My boyfriend." That word, boyfriend, hit harder than I expected. She didn't say ex, didn't say was. She said boyfriend. Like I still had a role in her life. Like this wasn't a betrayal. Like I was the one making it complicated. She dumped the mats on a side table next to the ice machine and went back inside. The door clicked shut, and I just stood there. For a long time, I didn't know what to do next. I thought about confronting her, knocking on the door. But what would I even say? What kind of conversation was that supposed to be? Instead, I waited till morning. At 8 a.m., I checked out. Didn't say goodbye. Didn't leave a note. I drove back to Fort Collins with the windows down and the heat blasting because I couldn't feel my damn hands. The house felt different the second I walked in. Colder. Smaller. Her presence was still there. Makeup bag on the bathroom counter, half-used water glass on her nightstand. But it all felt fake now. Like a stage set. I sat on the couch and waited. That's when I decided I wasn't going to blow up. Not yet. I was going to let her talk first. She got home Sunday night. She came in like nothing had happened. Humming. Kicked off her shoes. Hugged me from behind while I sat on the couch watching the local news. "Missed you," she said, kissing the back of my head. I let her. She walked past me into the kitchen, poured a glass of water, leaned against the counter like she had nothing to hide. "So how was your weekend?" she asked. I turned off the TV. It was quiet. "That's good. I feel so recharged. We did this energy cleansing." "I know where you were, Marcy." The words landed like a brick. She blinked. "What?" "I know you weren't at a yoga retreat." Her mouth opened, but nothing came out. "I was there. Whispering Cedar. Room 204. I saw you check in. With him." She didn't speak. Just stood there holding her glass, her knuckles white around the stem. "You said it was silent meditation. No phones. No guys. Just women." "Wait, you lied." She finally exhaled. "It wasn't what you think." "No? Because what I think is you've been seeing him for a while. What I think is you've been lying for months. What I think is that you walked into a suite with him like we didn't have 5 years behind us." She set the glass down slowly. "Can we please talk about this like adults?" "No, Marcy. Adults don't sneak off to resorts and lie to the people they live with. Adults don't pretend they're finding peace when they're screwing someone in a lodge suite." That's when her face changed. Her eyes narrowed. Her tone shifted. "You've been checking up on me?" I laughed. Out loud. "You cheat, and your first instinct is to act like I'm the problem?" She crossed her arms. "You were always so dull, Wade. You never asked about my world. Never tried to join it. You'd rather sit with your beer and your TV than grow with me." "You mean grow into someone who lies and cheats behind my back?" She shrugged. "Maybe we outgrew each other. It happens." I stared at her. "Then why didn't you just end it?" She didn't answer. So I stood up, walked to the bedroom, took every gift I'd given her in the last year and piled them on the kitchen table. The necklace from Valentine's. The noise-canceling earbuds she used for meditation. The key fob to my truck she kept for emergencies. And the damn yoga blocks that I ordered off Amazon. I stood there in silence as she watched me gather everything. She didn't stop me. She didn't apologize. So I said, "You left your mats at the lodge. Thought you'd appreciate the symbolism." Her face twitched. I walked out that night. Didn't stay to hear what she'd say next. But this wasn't over. It's strange how quickly you can become a ghost in your own life. I stayed with my buddy Kevin for a few days after I left. He lives in a small duplex just outside Loveland, about 25 minutes from our place. I didn't tell him everything at first, just said Marcy and I hit a rough patch, and I needed some space. But Kevin's known me since we were 14. He could tell something was off. The second night, we were sitting out back, drinking beer from the bottle because he still hasn't unpacked his glassware. I finally told him the whole thing. The lodge. The suite. The mats. He just sat there shaking his head. Jesus, Wade. That's cold, he said. But, like, good cold. We didn't talk much more after that. But it felt good to say it out loud. A few days passed. I didn't hear from Marcy. No texts. No calls. Nothing. I figured she'd packed up and left, or maybe was waiting me out. I didn't care. I was done. Then, on Thursday morning, I got a text from an unknown number. We need to talk. Please don't ignore this. It's important. Tasha, one of Marcy's yoga friends. I barely knew her. Saw her a few times at the house when they'd do smoothies or whatever after class. Always polite. Always smiling. Never looked me in the eye for long. I texted back, "What's this about?" She replied, "Not over text. Please, can we meet?" I'm not on her side. Something about that stuck with me. We met at a small coffee shop on the south end of town. She looked nervous. Kept glancing around like she thought someone might be watching. "I shouldn't be telling you this," she said after we sat down. "Then don't," I said flatly. She shook her head. "No, you deserve to know." I leaned back. "Know what?" She looked me dead in the eye. "Marcy's been seeing that guy for almost a year. His name's Alex. He's not just some guy from yoga. He owns the studio." That hit me sideways. I hadn't even considered that angle. "He's married," she added. My jaw tightened. "Wait, married?" "Yeah. Wife's name is Krista. She works the front desk sometimes. Blonde. You probably saw her once or twice." I felt like the ground was shifting under my feet. "They've been keeping it quiet," she continued. "It's more than just an affair. They were talking about moving in together. He said he was going to leave his wife, and Marcy thought you'd just fade away, I guess." I sat there, staring through the window. "And why are you telling me this?" Tasha looked down, picked at the corner of her cup. "Because Krista's my sister." Boom. Now that changed everything. She looked up. "I didn't know until a few weeks ago. I caught them together at the studio after hours. Marcy didn't see me, but I saw enough. I've been trying to figure out what to do since." My brain was spinning. I asked, "Does Krista know?" She shook her head. "No. She still thinks Alex is just working late or doing private sessions. She trusts him. So tell her." "I want to, but I need help." That word, help, stuck in my head the rest of the day. By that night, we had a plan. We weren't going to scream. We weren't going to throw punches. We were going to let both of them fall into the trap they'd built. First thing we did was find out when the next retreat was happening. Whispering Cedar again. Same lodge. Another weekend. Same lie. Marcy told Tasha she was going again, even said, "Hopefully this time I come back for good." I don't know if she meant moving in with him or leaving both of us behind. Didn't matter. We set everything up. Tasha had access to the studio calendar. Alex had blocked out Friday to Sunday as private sessions. No one would be there to question anything. Krista thought he was heading to Denver for a fitness conference. I booked 2 rooms at Whispering Cedar under 2 fake names. One for me, one for Krista. Tasha would bring her sister out there on Saturday under the excuse of a girls' weekend. Said she won a free spa trip and wanted to share it. The idea was to get everyone in the same place. Let the truth detonate itself. But I wasn't done. That morning, before they all arrived, I went into town. Bought something from the local print shop. 2 brochures. Custom made. The front said, "Welcome to the Whispering Retreat of Betrayal." Inside were photos. Screenshots from Marcy's public yoga page showing Alex. Another from the studio's Facebook post with both of them tagged. Then a grainy shot I had taken from the hallway outside Suite 210. And one last photo from the retreat guest list showing their names booked together under a couple's renewal package. I left one brochure in their suite, and I slipped the other under the door of the spa room where Tasha would bring Krista later that afternoon. The match was lit. That Saturday started calm. Too calm. It felt like that weird stillness before a storm, like everyone was just waiting for the wrong word to drop. Tasha and Krista arrived at the retreat just after lunch. I watched them from my car parked across the lot, sipping gas station coffee and trying not to lose my nerve. Tasha texted, "We're here. Spa appointment in 30." She still doesn't know. Meanwhile, Marcy and Alex were already settled into their same damn suite, room 210 again. I saw them walking back from brunch earlier that morning. Same body language. Same laughs. I swear, if I didn't know better, I'd think they were a couple planning a honeymoon, not two liars cheating on everyone around them. At 2:30, Krista went into the spa. Just like we planned. Tasha said she wanted to surprise her with something fun during the session. She waited until Krista was in the robe, sipping cucumber water, before handing her the brochure. I wish I could have seen Krista's face when she opened it. But I heard the scream from halfway down the hall. It wasn't rage. It was hurt, shattered, guttural pain that shot through walls. I followed the noise, fast. Met Tasha at the end of the hallway. She looked pale, but steady. Krista was already storming towards Suite 210, brochure in one hand, mascara running, barefoot. I didn't stop her. She pounded on the door like she was going to rip it off the hinges. Alex answered in his retreat robe, smirking, until he saw her. Then the color drained from his face. Krista. She didn't say a word. She shoved the brochure into his chest and pushed past him. Marcy came out of the bathroom, hair wet, wrapped in a towel. Saw Krista and froze. You, Krista said, voice shaking. You smug, two-faced. Marcy held up a hand. It's not what it looks like. Krista laughed, sharp, broken. You're screwing my husband and telling me it's not what it looks like. I walked in then. Alex turned to me, eyes wide. Wade, what the hell is going on? I thought a yoga retreat was supposed to clear your conscience, I said. Looks like y'all skipped that part. Marcy's voice cracked. Wade, how did you even? Don't bother, I said, holding up my phone. I've known since the last time you came here. Room 210. Friday night. You left your mats outside. Alex looked like he'd been hit by a truck. Wait, that was you? I figured it out faster than you figured out how to keep your zipper up, I said. The suite exploded into yelling. Tasha stepped in to stop Krista from lunging at Marcy. Alex tried to play victim, said he was working through things with his wife and felt conflicted. Marcy looked lost, like the walls were finally closing in on her. You planned this, she hissed at me. Yeah, I said. You build a house of lies. I just invited everyone over to see it collapse. Krista left him on the spot. Took her car, keys, ring, everything. Tasha left with her. Marcy stayed back, probably hoping I'd fall into old patterns and help her clean up the mess. But I walked out too. Didn't even slam the door. Back in Fort Collins, I started fresh. Kevin helped me move my stuff into a small rental on the east side of town. No more shared closets. No more toothbrushes next to each other. About 2 weeks later, Marcy texted. I messed up. I was confused. Can we talk? I replied once. You already said everything. Just not with your mouth. She didn't answer after that. From what Tasha told me later, Alex tried to win Krista back. She filed for divorce instead. Last I heard, Marcy lost most of her yoga clients after Krista posted the full story online. The studio's still open, but barely. As for me, I go to work. I eat dinner in peace. I sleep without wondering where she is. I'm not better yet, but I'm not broken anymore either. And sometimes, when I see a yoga mat in a store, I remember how something so simple ended it all. One clean slice down the middle. And it was over.